What's your name?
Bangem Bugg.
Bangem Bugg. What's up, man?
What's going on?
You smell good. What you got on? I don't know, some vanilla body spray.
Oh, yeah. You knew.
Oh,
Not you ain't
my
want to
God.
drop it. She like, I can't give you the answer. Good.
Honestly, I got it from TikTok. So I just I wish I put myself onto it, but I was just like, good vanilla body sprays on TikTok.
It's no good.
It's like a 76 on it.
See, TikTok got the answers for everything too.
It's like Google.
It really
Honestly.
is.
You need to know a trend, anything, you can type it in. I'm not on it like that, but I do.
For
It's
research.
resourceful. Yes. Man.
All right, Chanel. So put your right hand up and your left hand on your word, wherever you decide your word is. And hold it just like that. Do you solemnly agree? Now hold it up. Do you solemnly agree that we have your permission to post this across all of our social media platforms?
Yes.
Is there anything I do mean, anything that's off limits you don't want us to ask you about?
No.
If we do ask you something that's off limits, do you understand that you can tell us no or pass or move on? Cool, let's get it.
Okay, literally is no pressure. I'm your host, Bangem Bugg.
It's your girl, just K for real.
And we got a special guest here to introduce herself. So tell us where you originally from.
Hello. I am from Miami, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm from Kendall, Florida. So kind of southwest, close by. If we're talking beaches, like Key Biscayne, it's kind of where they're going.
So
Not
did
too far from Keys.
you grow up with both your parents?
Yes, both my parents, and they're both from Miami too. Well, they both moved to Miami, and that they met there. But they've been. So my dad's actually Puerto Rico. His parents are from Cuba. Then made a quick little stop Puerto Rico. Dad got to Miami. My mom, her family's from Nicaragua, and then they moved to New York real quick. Then came to Miami. So eventually, they both made it to Miami, and then I was the first born there, and it was cool. They've been together since they were 16, so they were like little high school sweethearts in Miami. Same thing, my dad was like South Side, my mom was North Side, and they made it work, rode the Metro Rail. And so I'm as Miami girl as they come.
So you speak fluent Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
English language.
So you with your high school sweetheart? Or you
No. I didn't really have a high school sweetheart. Yeah.
Was you like an eyeball in school?
What happened?
I said, was you like an eyeball in school?
I was homeschooled, so I didn't really go public school. But all my friends did, and I definitely was social. But I don't know, people were just kind of lame. So since I was a homeschool, I kind of observed everything a lot, and I knew a lot of people. I had one that had my heart, but my friend at the time, I had to go out of town for a year. And in that year, we were long distance and shit, but eventually he got with my friend, my best friend. And then they started dating. And that was the only person that I ever fucked with in high school. So after that, I was like, oh, if your own best friend can take a man, fuck this shit. I'm waiting till they got money, at least, something.
Something.
Yeah, in high school, nobody, what are you going to offer me? Weed? I probably got better weed than you, so.
Some girls, they smart, they won't take you around their friends.
What happened?
Some girls, they won't take you around their friends.
Take who around their friend?
Like a guy they dating.
Yeah, I think we were never dating. We were just kind of sweethearts. We liked each other, and we went on little dates, but we weren't official. So when I left town, they became she secured that.
So I mean, she didn't really do nothing wrong, right? If it wasn't
I guess.
official.
Yeah, but if we're talking high school sweethearts, that would be the only one. And like I said, it was never really official. So it was oh, cool. But yeah.
I have my man around everybody. But it's your friend's supposed to be that solid. One, your friend should never want to do that. Two, your man should never want to do that. But if it happens, it's bet, get him out of here.
Yeah. And like you said, technically, by the book, nothing was wrong, And I think they still fuck with each other, So, and I don't really fuck with either of them anymore. So, life is going to do what it does. But that was my first experience, feeling something for a person.
Right.
And I learned real quick that feelings can hurt and they pass,
Not for real.
Okay, what would you say the most traumatic experience you had as a child?
Traumatic?
Yeah.
Shit, well, I'm the oldest of 7 kids. So I feel every time my mom told me she was pregnant, it was oh shit, Oh shit! Again? Like I remember by the fifth one, I was like, "No, it's a joke, right? You're joking." But you know,
Why? Because you had to help.
yes, I'm the oldest, and my parents been together since 16. They don't know how to raise much. I mean, they do. Turned out great, but you know, definitely had to help. And I think that having a big family and kids like that is traumatic because it definitely causes life experiences that not other people go through.
Like what?
Like, you know, like watching your siblings when you want to go out, or you know,
That's
having to
traumatic.
cook, or like I don't know.
Having to be a parent as a child.
Yeah.
That's not. I mean, that's not really a.
Like imagine being 5 years
Yeah.
old and having 3 people younger than you, and being like, help feed your brother, help change this diaper, help pack the diaper bag, and you're 5. Like you're supposed to still be a kid at 5.
No, for real.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So you feel like you shouldn't have to do nothing at a young age, basically.
No, you
Be
should
a
do
kid.
something.
I think you should have to be a kid.
But I think until like 5, you should still be a little kid. Like you don't have to be worried about people younger than you at 5 to be accountable. I don't know, but then again, like I'm really responsible now because of that, and it was traumatic. But if we're talking like, I don't know if I can look at anything as trauma in like a bad way, but that was definitely something that made me tougher than most of the people around me. And if that's what trauma is, then yeah.
Okay. Last time you had to question someone's loyalty, and last time someone questioned yours.
Oh, that's a good question. Can you repeat that one more time?
Last time you had to question someone's loyalty, and last time someone questioned yours.
Last time I had to question someone's loyalty. I mean, I feel like we're always questioning people's loyalty, like when you're meeting new people. But I mean, I feel like even today, like I have this friend, and she's in the industry, and you know, she's been putting me on shows, and I show up to shit she asked me to go to, and it's like, you know, like she's part of like this workout thing, and she's been asking me to go to gym with her, and like there's no contract. She's not my manager. She's not like, you know, but she's my friend in the industry. So, you know, when she asks me to go to things, I feel like whether it's to my benefit or not, just by showing up, that's the way of questioning a person's loyalty. So like this show that happened like last Thursday, it was a competition, and the winner got to like tour with this like label. And so because I showed up with this label, I didn't do anything to be associated with them. I just walked in and sat with them. But I showed up because this person asked me to come that was associated with that label. Whatever, I got disqualified from the competition. So because I was, you know, with that, I just went to perform. Like I still got something out of it. I, you know, paid to be there. But at the same time, I feel like showing up like that and seeing like, would she get upset if she got disqualified? Would she sit with us when she walks in, or would she not? Little things like that. It works on both sides. Like I'm questioning their loyalty, they're questioning mine. So, like today, one of those same people asked me to show up to like a workout class. But I showed up because it's like, yes, I'm a real one. I'll come to your workout class. Like, I have a gym in my house. I don't need to go to a workout class. But by showing up, that shows I'm willing to come sweat with you, you know?
Seem like you keep your word all the time.
I do. I'm a Gemini. I have to.
Usually Gemini's trying to say mine all the time, right?
Change your mind is not the same thing as being of your word.
I mean, because you can change your mind about giving your word.
Nah, that's different. Once you say it, like, once I say something, I'm like willing to be tested on that. And like, I don't know, I feel like if you call me out, I might even like argue as to what I meant by it, but I still like not go back on my word.
I had a different experience with Gemini.
I
They switch it up. I get along with them, they just switch it up too much.
We do. We're always like weighing options, but like it's because we want the most honest, most like on point option on loyalty, on life.
I think Gemini's just moody.
Yeah,
That's my experience with them. Not necessarily. I think they mean what they say. Like my nephew a Gemini, my granddad a Gemini. It's a real old one, a real young one. They mean what they say, bro.
those are also Gemini men. Like a lot of with great power comes great responsibility, And like this is strong sign. I feel like same with Scorpios. Like Scorpio men are so different than Scorpio women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, other than 10 signs, good girls will be good or bad guys will be good, but usually not both.
Yeah, no, for real.
So so does your family like try to make you feel like you have to only date Cubans, or how does that work?
Oh, that's a good question because I was raised like that, right? To the point where, like I said, I never had a high school sweetheart. When I became 19, my mom was like, girl, you like boys, right? Because you're 19 and you ain't brought nobody home. I ain't never seen you go on dates like that. You did it with that one guy and then your friend took him. Like, what happened? I'm like, Mom, are you questioning? Like, am I gay or straight? Like, what's going on? So we're starting to have these conversations, right? Give it like 2 weeks. And she's like, Chanel, I met this guy at the tire shop, and I think he'd be perfect for you. I met his family, love him, all this stuff. I'm like, you're really trying to set me up with the guy from the tire shop?
Right.
Like, why? She's like, I don't know, something about him. Whatever. My dad is Cuban, okay? So, clearly she likes Cubans. She's not Cuban, but clearly she likes them, and my dad's family loves them. So, I don't know how. Like, a month later, I go out, and I pop my tire. And I need a tire. And she's like, I know the perfect place where we can go. Because clearly life had this for me. What are the odds of my tire popping? So we go.
She popped it.
For real. I thought about it. So we go to the tire shop. And I see him. I'm not going to lie, his face is cute. But then he stands up. And he's about 2 inches shorter than me.
Little.
And like, I'm pretty tall. So it's not like, you know, I need my guys to be super tall to be taller than me, but 2 inches shorter, I'm already tall, you know. But he was like swollen and shit. He worked out. So whatever, we were talking and whatever. I get my tire fixed. We go home, and my mom's like, "So you're going out with him, right?" I'm like, Mom, I just got his Instagram. Like, chill out. He's mine. Like, it wasn't nothing like that. She's like, No, you're gonna go out with him. Like, you guys got along great. I saw you guys talking. You're gonna date. Tell me how like. The next weekend, we go to my grandma's house. My aunties, everybody's there. And my mom's telling them also, she knows this new guy that she's interested. He's from the town. I'm like, Mom, we're not even talking like that. Like, I don't even know him. She's like, Chanel, you're going to do it. And then my aunt's like, Chanel, I'm going to be honest. If he reaches out, you shouldn't say no. Like, you need to do this. I'm like, what? Like, because you haven't had a boyfriend and your mom likes him. I'm like, really?
That's on TV stuff.
It was crazy. But I'm like the first girl in a long time, you know. So... whatever, he ends up DMing me, I think that day, bro. It was the craziest thing.
She called his mother.
I think there was something going on, man. I get a DM, like, I think I posted a picture, and then he said all my DMs from it. And, I don't even know. Point is, all my aunties were there. I have the DMs. They're all sitting on the phone, like, you're going. He invites me to Topgolf. I go to Topgolf with him. Next thing I know, it turns into, like, this relationship I never wanted to be in. I never liked him. They were organizing the whole thing to the point where we're almost getting engaged. After like 7 months, he was like talking to my dad. He's like, yeah, you should marry her. Like,
damn.
He's going ring shopping. I'm like, I'm 19. This is my first boyfriend. I'm not agreeing to any of this.
Right.
So like, it was kind of like an arranged marriage.
God.
You know, like my mom picked him. My aunts all told me to do it. But when you're that young and you have no experience, you're just like, okay. Until finally, it got to a point, this was the breaking point. He went into my closet and took all the clothes I was no longer allowed to wear if we were getting married and put it in his closet. All my shorts, tank tops, bras, anything that was too cute. I was like, oh, hell no.
Anything revealing.
Yeah. Revealing, yes. But I'm from Miami. Like, we just dress cute down there.
And it's hot.
Yeah. And I was chilling in his hot
beach
tire shop all the time with his family. Like, there's no AC back there. Yes, I'm in shorts, and I'm gonna take them away.
In Miami?
Yes, on Bangem
Right? Hell no.
And
she can't wear no shorts.
It's hot here, so I can just imagine Miami.
Yeah. No shorts.
So how you break it
No
on?
leggings either. Huh?
So how you break it on?
I said, that's crazy. I went into his closet, took what I could grab, put it in my car. Tell me how I couldn't find my shoes, though. He hid them somewhere in his closet because we wore the same shoe size. So he finessed out my shoes.
That's
whatever.
shoes.
Yeah, I know, right? But, yes, I got my shit back and I was like, we're done. And my family, he showed up to my grandparents' house talking to my grandma. You understand, we're going to get married. Please talk her out of this. Stop calling my mom and dad. They're like, Chanel, you're breaking his heart. Like, what are you doing? All of them were on his side. I'm
Did
like,
you
he
tell him
took
what he
my
did?
clothes.
Right.
I would tell them everything. But he would go to church with us, and he was Cuban, and
Hell
his family
no.
knew how to cook. Man, that shit
Ma,
was
that
crazy.
nigga crazy.
Yeah.
He stole my shoes. That would have been what I led off
I was like,
with.
that still don't have the shoes. Like,
Right. Mm-mm.
I
Ma,
think
go
that
get
was
my
a
shoes
family
back.
structure though. Like if it was
Hmm.
like set up like that to where like your parents pick somebody for you.
What'd you say?
I said that would help the family structure. Like as far as like,
I mean, but you gotta like the person.
you can learn to like somebody.
Hell no.
honestly, the longer I've thought about it, but like, your parents have to know how to pick too. Like, that's a big choice.
That's forever.
That's forever. A marriage is like, even if you get divorced, now you're divorced forever.
Yeah.
You're never just a person, an individual, ever again after you get married.
I mean, as long as you don't have kids, it don't really count.
But getting married is just like, you don't get married to somebody you gotta learn to love, bro. That's a big commitment.
I think they do it in other countries, but I mean,
Yeah, but they be crying, like, they be sad. These females be sad. The men don't be liking it either sometimes. They just go along with it because that's tradition. That's like somebody giving you somebody that's just totally not your type, not what you want.
I don't really have a specific type. I like women that's in shape.
Exactly. So she out of
and
shape.
clean.
If you get her pregnant, she gonna be bigger. And they're like, well, she's black.
she
She
don't
has
get
her own
obese.
business. But I'm saying, if it's the opposite of what you want, and then they tell you, well, that's what you got to do because she's what we want you to have.
As long as she stay in shape, I guess.
She's not gonna be in shape.
Well, that can't work.
That
But
you can learn to
how
love
that
her.
happens. Like, once you become a mother, your whole body changes. There's tons of fit girls that are fit in high school, fit in college, have a baby.
I
Done.
expect women to be fat a little bit, but not obese.
She's gonna be obese.
No, that's crazy. You would know if they're gonna be like that before pregnancy.
But
Well,
that's
you
what I'm
know,
saying. I'm saying if somebody was to hook him, if his
see
parents was
somebody
to
who
hook him
kinda
up with
be-
somebody who's gonna be obese.
Yeah, no, if your
And-
parents pick for you,
Yeah.
ooh, yeah,
They're
they
like,
know.
well, she owns her. She
Actually-
has this. She wants 5 kids. We want some grandkids and all of this.
No, for real. And also, people, like, if you pick too young, you don't know how people spiral because you might think, oh, this person has a good family, things like that. And then the kid or the son, whatever, just runs off because they can't take that much responsibility at a young age. That's what happens a lot in those countries when they do with the guys young. So they're like, okay, here's what we're going to do. The men will pick them wives after 30. So they can just do whatever they want until they're 30, and then they know how to stay with the woman. And then what happens is usually girls have, like, older guys that they don't really like or know that well. So it kind of sucks for them.
Sound like the States.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
Well,
Like, it
getting
could
paid.
work, but
Yeah.
Sugar
Want
daddy.
some money. Okay. Yeah. So what about colorism? Would they I guess would they pick somebody who's really dark, or he has to be light like you?
well, he was darker than me, but I have liked darker guys like my whole life. Like my first crush was like black kid. Like my dad was a boxer. My dad's like darker Cuban. So like that's kind of what I was around more. They would never pick a white boy for me.
So they don't like white people?
No, they just know that's not what I like.
Oh, they know your type.
Yeah. Whereas like my brother loves white girls. Like
Mm.
this girl's American. So
Okay. The most stressful thing your ex puts you through, and the most stressful thing you put an ex through.
ooh, there's so many things, man. Stress. That should be stressing, man.
I'm cracking up.
Like the most stressful. I feel like all of it's stressful, to be honest. Relationships are stressful.
They are, bro.
Not when both of y'all want each other.
Huh?
When both of y'all want each other, it's really not.
Yeah, right? At first it's like a drug. It's like it's more stressful to not, you know? But then once you're in it, that real relationship, something turns. I don't know what. All that draw turns into pressure once it catches up. Recently, I just got out of a relationship that like I actually felt. I actually had deep feelings for it. But like towards the end, it got stressful because like we were basically living together. So, you know, we were even like going to the laundromat together.
Mm.
That was stressful, you know, because if you're at the point where you're going to the laundromat, that means you don't have laundry in your apartment. That means the type of apartment, you know, it's just like, oh, that builds stress. So we put each other through that. So
It don't take much to stress you out, do it?
I was about to say, what's the
See,
stress
like you
part?
get stressed pretty easy. Like going to the laundry stressful.
I mean, when's the last time you did your laundry at the laundromat?
When my washing machine broke, that probably was like,
A few months ago.
nah, that was like a couple years ago.
I was your water heater. I was thinking about
My washing machine, it like tear up, and then you have to, you know, have your uniform. So. But after I did that, I spent like $30. Then I still didn't wash everything. I said, man, hell no. Like, I'm not
So what
doing
was
this
stressful
shit.
about it?
What was stressful is that he got to Atlanta first. He picked this apartment that basically didn't have a laundry. And we were on the 9th floor. So when you gotta wash laundry, you gotta carry all your laundry down this one elevator that's crusty as hell. So you gotta not let your clothes fall. And then you gotta get in the car. Then you gotta get to the laundromat. Now one of us gotta pay for laundry. You gotta charge the laundry card. Now I gotta go wash the laundry. Somebody gotta watch it. Alright, well let's smoke a blunt in the car. So it's not like we just waiting for the laundry. So then, you know, you go take out your laundry, you fold it up, you get home, now you gotta unpack it, now you gotta put it away. There's just lots of, you're gonna do that? Okay, bet, then I'll do this. You're gonna do that? Bet, then I'll do this. But it's like,
It's too much for
it
you.
was a while. We were living there for like 3-4 months, 5 months, 6 months, I don't know. Wow. Till I got my place. But that was, that whole situation, living there, was most stressful for, I did to him and he did to me.
Okay, so it seemed like you leave pretty easy.
I don't actually. This is the most recent one. Leave a relationship?
Yeah.
No, he left me.
Why?
Cause he was basically living with me, and I guess I told him I was like, you can't. We don't gotta break up, but you can't live with me anymore. Like you can live with me until you get a place. You need to get a place. Like there's a lot.
Why didn't you want him there? Like.
Because I just didn't want to live with him. Like I was kind of. We were only dating for a year, and I learned that like stresses come when you live together. So I was like, I feel like we're stressing more than we're having fun with each other. So like, why don't you just get your own place?
How could he relieve the stress out of the relationship to make you be like, this is good for me? Like, what should he do?
Get his own place.
Get his own place. Work hard enough to be able to afford your own place. I work hard enough now to afford it by myself. So why can't you?
Because it's easier. You know how much money you save living with somebody?
You do, but you gotta be ready for that. It's a big decision to live with somebody. Like, other than romantic partners, you really only live with your family.
What made you not want to live with him?
We had different work ethics, different ways of
He was taking care of him.
making money. Yeah.
Yeah, he do gotta go at that point.
And it's like, you know, I know how to cook really well. So I don't mind cooking every day. But it's like, are you going to do the dishes every day? No.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, if I'm on top of certain shit. And I'm not saying he wasn't on top of shit. Like, he's a great person. And I wish nothing but the best for him. But it got to the point where he was like, well, if you don't want me to live here, like, I have no business staying in Atlanta. So went back to home.
I like
To go
girls.
stay at home.
Yeah, to go stay at home. Yes, ma'am.
He ain't want to take care of nothing.
Yeah.
I think women should like cook a lot and at one time and it lasts instead of trying to cook a new meal every day.
That's what I try to do.
It's like that food prep shit, so it's like a little easier.
That's what I try to do. But again, it come with you gonna wash the dishes or at least we gotta have a dishwasher. I got a dishwasher, so when I make a bunch of stuff, it's like, all right, bet, throw everything in there, boom, set. But
Yeah, just wash dishes after whatever you do or whatever. Like,
I mean,
but she talking about so you don't want to wash pans or nothing. Like he should have to
Yeah.
wash everything.
No,
it's just like help.
it's just after a while, you hate when you start keeping count of shit, and it's like, oh, so now like we're just gonna disqualify cooking. Like that's just my job. Like, but now we gotta keep track of the other jobs, you know, because clearly neither of us want to do these things. But I actually do want to cook, so. But it's still a job, you know. Just because I don't mind doing it all the time, like.
It's the fact that he wasn't really bringing much to the table. It seemed like
Yeah.
Would it feel better if he paid the rent and all the bills and stuff?
At least half consistently.
yeah, be
So
Emphasis on the consistently.
Okay.
Anything consistent. Like if you show me you only gotta do dishes once a week, at least do that consistently. Of course, I prefer 5, but consistency with anything, you know. I was actually thinking about this the other day. I feel like when you get into that point of a relationship where you get from like that easy draw to each other to like that stress, I feel like women tend to like do more, check more, care more, and men are like, girl, can you do less? And guys, it feels like do less and less and less, and we're like, can you do more?
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes like women just start over giving and men start overtaking or hiding or whatever the fuck. And it's weird.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was about to say, I mean, I just think it's good to sit down every month or whatever and like, what can I do to make your life easy? Y'all both do that, like it should work. You know what I'm
It
saying?
should. It should.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Okay, it's a quote that say, my brain knew but my heart wasn't ready. Like, how can you relate to that quote?
My brain knew. That's a good one. So my ex before this one, we were together for a good little minute, and he taught me a lot about business and life, and like we really made money together. When it came to the emotional stuff, though, we were just on very different pages. And when I broke up with him, and then we were like separated for a while, and then he kept asking me to like give him more chances or like take trips with him, and my brain knew that I wasn't gonna like stay with him forever. Like we both knew that the emotional, like our hearts were like on different pages, but they were not. And mentally, like we were both Gemini, so we both knew our habits were not gonna cross. Like you either like to cuddle or you don't. You either like, PDA or you don't. You either like
public display.
Yeah, like holding hands, kissing in public, pulling chairs, like I don't know, or like even that publicity sense. Like some people really like being public with their relationships. Some people really like being private about it. And we are just on different pages in a lot of those elements. Like there's not a lot of flow, but we eventually got back together twice after. We both knew it was gonna be over, but we still went on a trip. We still tried to make it work. We both even while we were hanging out on that trip, it's like our minds were like, this is so bittersweet because it's just realistically not gonna work. We're just such different people, but our hearts were like, but why though? Like they make sense. Like I want to be with them, but even in movements or choices of music, when you just know that it's off. But yeah.
It was like I love them, but I'm not in love with them.
Yeah, I still have mad love for him. Like, if he were to call me, I would totally answer. But we did speak a few times after. But I don't know. We just both mentally definitely knew we were done. It was the point where when things would happen, we laugh. Man, I don't know.
Yeah. Like damn.
It's like I'm still your guy. Yeah, right. Our job, right.
Okay, what was your best get back at somebody?
Ooh, I'm proud of this story. Alright, so this guy, I was with him. He was probably after that arranged guy. He was right after him, and now we have crossed all of my exes. 4 romantic people. So this guy, call him Skater Boy. We were skating, skateboarding together all the time, doing graffiti together all the time, and he finally getting it together and stuff. And he's finally okay, I want you to be my girl. I'm like, okay, bet. But if you're gonna, we can't just keep skating and doing graffiti. Now we have to kind of be more romantic. You can't just be my guy friend. I need to get, emotionally attached to you. It's okay, bet. So he starts sending me love texts and going on real dates and introducing me to his family. Tell me how. I'm okay, bet. So I was just getting into the hip hop scene. I had this big performance. I was part of this cypher, this local spot in Miami called Roots. It was really cool. I'm all right, so can you pick me up and take me here? And he's oh no, I'm sorry, I can't. I gotta help my sister with something. Oh, okay, that's cool, whatever. So we didn't go. Then the next day, I asked him, oh, what are you doing? And I just could tell something in his responses were weird. And I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna think about it. I don't know what's going on. My friend, she was like, girl, he's cheating on you. The way he texted you, the way he missed out on your big hip hop debut, like that's your man's. You don't help your sister move. Like that's a weird response. I'm like, I don't believe it. I don't want to think about it. She's like, give me his Instagram. Bro, she knew. We went through his tag pictures. He's sitting in a chair with 2 girls on his lap, and it looked like they had history together or something. I was like, it's the same day that he went to go party with these 2 girls. So I was like, should I call him right now? What should I do? And she's like, play cool, play cool. I was like, all right. So the next day, I was like, hey, so this spot Roots. It was like on Wednesday, you could just go chill there. And at night, they had like a cypher. So I was usually there on Wednesdays. So I was like, hey, I'm going to be at Roots tonight. Like, you want to meet me there? Like, yeah. It's like, will you be at school? I'll pick you up. Like, okay, cool. So he skates to my school, and my school was close by to the spot. So we're like acting all romantic. He's taking pictures of me. He's like, my girlfriend. Da da da. I'm like, this motherfucker. Like, so I'm trying to think, what am I going to do? And so I had just learned how to freestyle. And so we're sitting at this table. We get to that spot, Roots. He sits down with me. All my guy friends are there, like my hip hop friends. And they put on a beat. We start freestyling. And I don't know how I could have played it. I just laid out the whole story as I was freestyling. I let him know I caught you. And I know you had 2 of the bitches. And I wasn't even going to check. But my friend Sophie, she the one to look. And it turned out he was like this. And I don't know, at the time, it was bars. And all my guy friends are there banging on the table like, she really doing this? Yeah. It's like, at that show, I had told them, oh, he's not here, whatever. So they all knew what was going on. And I feel this guy literally, like, just walked out. And
that's fire.
He texted me when he got home. He's like, I'm sorry I walked out. I didn't know how to look you in the eyes. Yeah, no, I guess you caught me. You let me have it, though. That was pretty, even he admitted, he's like, that was pretty baller.
Yeah.
So
you be having TV moments in your life.
I think I'm just theatrical or something. I don't know, man.
Not for real.
Okay, so Cordy said people raised on love see things differently. Differently raised on survival. People raised on survival. So, what's y'all thoughts on
it? People raised on love see things differently than people raised on survival.
Yeah.
I agree.
And what, like, can you notice between the 2?
I guess people raised on survival are tougher and less naive, I would say, versus people raised on love don't necessarily have to, I guess, work towards having love, versus if you raised on survival, you gotta figure out who to trust, figure out how to move around people and stuff. So I guess a different level of trust comes with that too. That's all.
What about you?
I think it's true because of what you learn to idealize. Everyone has like an ideal lifestyle. And I feel like when you're a kid, what you're raised on creates your ideals. Because what you have isn't necessarily what you ideally want, And I feel like if you're raised in survival, all you really want is comfort. Like, you just want that stability so bad. And I feel like if you're raised on love, you want so many more things, man. Like, I was raised on love, and I can say, like, definitely want a lot out of life.
So what's your ideal lifestyle?
I want to be a rock star, man. Like a real one.
So
like Tina Turner.
Like Tina Turner, like Erykah Badu, Shaka Khan, one of them,
So you wouldn't marry a tire shop girl then?
Shit, I think about this all the time. Maybe I would. Now that we're both older and more mature, I don't know. I still have love every single last one of these 4 people that I have spoken stories of. If they were to watch it, they know I'm talking about them. I have so much love for all of them. And I think maybe 10 years down the line, if I run into any of them, we're in different places, that love is still there. That was like a flower that started to grow, and eventually you just have to cut it. And those feelings come back. Certain songs take you back. Like, I listen to the song Folding Clothes with J. Cole, and it reminds me of that stressful time at the laundry shop, in the best way, And, yeah.
So he at least need to pay at least 80% of the bills at least.
I don't know. I don't be balling enough. I don't got to think about my bills.
Not for real. That's my main goal at this point.
I'm saying meeting somebody before you actually hit that, cause like once you hit that point, it's like who the fuck can you trust then? Right?
I know. It's a hard question. I don't know. People that show up.
Not for real.
So, okay, we gonna go with who got the best version of you and the worst version of you?
Ooh, these questions are good. I like these questions, man.
I like your accent. Like my best friend is Mexican though, but you sound like her.
My best friend's Mexican too.
People don't like that. Like, remember I called girl Mexican?
That's why
it's
I put
Latino.
But she's from Mexico, so I didn't ask her if she was Mexican, but my best friend is Mexican.
You know, Mexicans offended.
My Mexican best friend, if you call her, I used to call her, what the fuck is it? I think El Salvador. No, El Salvador, and she was okay with being Guatemalan. I used to be from Guatemala.
Oh, hell no, Mexican.
Yeah. She'd be like, don't call me that.
Yeah, and I'm Nicaraguan, so I'm the one right under that.
Yeah.
So we not mixed too. On my mom's side. Oh, yeah.
For real, she ain't play that.
They don't play that. But who got the best version of me? Shit, can the same person on both? Well, my mama. My mama definitely got the worst version of me. Oh my! I think about things I've said to her, done in front of her. I'm like, my dad too, both of them. But
You ever apologize?
yeah, well, I have good relationships with them. Yeah, it's a work in progress, but we're getting there. And best version of me so far, I wanted to say like this most recent ex. Like, I don't know. I feel like I really grew into who I was with him. And like I said, he left me, and I feel like part of that was because like he knew like if I stay in this any longer, I'm just gonna keep fucking it up. So like maybe we can resume one day. Right now I gotta go. And like, you know, he called me. I know where he is. He's at his mom's house. You know, he's good. But like, you know, I know that like I've grown so much. And like when I met him, I was ready to like have a boyfriend. I knew everything that came with it. And I wasn't ready to break up at all. I was like, what you mean? No, I'll go home with you. I'll hold up. Like, what's going on? And a really mature part of me would have had to do that. Because every other one, I was the one that was quick out the door. Like, we're done? All right, we're done. But, yeah.
You was always ready to break up.
I was like, I got kicked out of my parents' house at 19. So I feel like when that happened, when I broke up with that Cuban boyfriend, and then I got into the hip-hop scene and started to find out about weed, no. So I feel like every relationship I've had has been after that. So it's kind of like when your own parents show you that you can go, you know, like I said, being raised on love, like that's the ideal. It's nothing to do with comfort. It's like, can you cut me off love? Like, I don't know. You think a guy can, so it's like, let me do it before they do, you know?
Oh, so you still on that now? Like, you still got to do it before they do it?
No. I think I'm gonna take a break. Like, I've been in relationships the past, like, since 19, basically. And, like, 4, and then any little thing might have occupied in between. Like, I think I'm good. Stay to myself. If you want to be my friend, that's cool. But, like, when it comes to mixing DNA, I think you change that reality for the two of you. I'm gonna try to do that right now.
So I'm saying, do you feel like you picked poorly? You get what I'm saying?
No, I think breakups are part of the story. Like, I told my ex this. I said, you were a great boyfriend, but a horrible ex. And those are two different things. But I've had bad boyfriends that were great exes. Oh, they showed me they wanted me back, you know. Two different things. And we're both still alive. Neither of us are married. Like,
Never know.
You never know what happens. But breakups, I think, are part of it. Yeah. Unless you're like my parents at 16, you're like, let's just never go through any of that. Let's just secure this. And it worked for them. So, different strokes, different folks.
Okay, what's something one of your exes said that cut you deep?
I was driving. We like volunteered somewhere. And there was like this pro NFL player. And my ex was like, oh, all starstruck by him, asking him all these questions. And like, yeah, I never saw him like that. He was a real gangster. And I was like, you just fangirled. Like, I've never seen you fangirl. He's like, you don't understand. Like, I played football. Like, to me, athletes are like kind of how you see like artists. It's like, oh, okay. Like, that was enough for me. We keep driving. He's like, I've seen you fangirl, blah, blah. I was like, okay, no, like, I know. I am a fangirl. Like, if we're going to a concert with someone that I'm a fan of, I will. It's like, but you don't get that way from musicians. Or, like, I just didn't know an athlete is what did it for you. He's like, yeah, exactly. Then as driving, he's like, musicians are what do it for you. He's like, I'm telling you right now, I will never have the same respect for a musician as I do an athlete. Like, I have way more respect for athletes than musicians. Like, what do you guys do? Like, talk about heartbreak? Like, get over it. Like, I've been in the army. I know what physical pain takes. And I know what athletes go through. And when he says, I'm like, you realize you're talking to a musician. Like, you're straight up telling me if some volleyball girl pull up, you gonna respect her more than me? Because I just sing my feelings and she play ball? Oh, hell no. That one cut.
I mean, it's difficult to do both, like, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I respect him saying I don't see his.
Yeah, it's not a thing, but then he made it a thing. Like, the way he belittled music compared to, like, both take struggle, both take heart, like, both take muscle.
He was hurt, you called him out.
I guess, yeah. But what's so bad about fangirling? Like,
he was hurt, child. He had to
Because
hurt
you're
it
not
up.
supposed to. If you meet somebody famous, you're like, bro, I love what you do. Shake his hand and get the fuck on. All that, hey man, I seen this, and talk about your dreams and aspirations to a motherfucker you don't even know. Like, that's too much. Like,
I wasn't trying to, like, play with him or belittle him. I was just like, yay, we found something you like. Like, should we go to more games? I don't know. Like,
you
this is your
basically
thing.
called him a bitch, like when you said that.
Because he a gangster.
You said
Exactly,
a
yeah.
fangirl.
I don't know if I necessarily said the word fangirl. I'm sure it came off that way though. Yeah, like, oh, like,
He had to defend his ego.
yeah, for sure. So I'm sure, like, I mean, you're not gonna cut somebody deep with words unless they gotta defend their ego, you know. So I guess I didn't know that was this was the one that I said we just had different flows. Like, our hearts were there, but
I would have been like, dang, I hurt your feelings. I was just asking a question.
Oh no, then he heard mine, and I don't think he knew he heard mine. When he said,
he did. He knew. He tried to.
Yeah. Because the first couple
I got
times
real
he
quiet.
said it hard enough, so he was like, nah, I'm
You
saying
basically called him a girl, basically.
I did it though. I was just
That's
like,
how he
the
feels.
way he was acting, like, you don't understand. My ex was like he's the plug for whatever you need. Like, he'd be the type to stand by the door and not talk to anybody, not look at nobody. I fucked with him. He felt like a bodyguard because he just like didn't give that much energy to nobody. He was very reserved with it. But this guy from NFL, he was like, NFL. He played like 10 years ago or something. He was like, his whole demeanor changed. I'd never seen that before. We'd only been dating for a few months. So I was just like, I meant it in a good way. Like, hey, I saw you like this thing. But he saw it as like I didn't realize how much, for him that was respect, you know.
Because he meeting somebody who he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
So
and I said, like, I would have fangirled way more. He's like, you would do that for artists. I'm like, oh, yes, I would. And I hope you can do that for me. Like, we can meet, you know, these people. That'd be dope.
What was that?
But he didn't see it that way, yeah.
The big ass bug.
Where it fall from? It fell on you?
You used the bug.
Yeah, you.
Caught that one. Ooh.
I ain't gonna say that. I'll be hurting her feelings. I don't even be knowing.
Oh, yeah.
Are y'all
Got a bunch of
friends?
feelings.
How long y'all been friends for?
She don't consider me my. I'm her associate. She don't like me like that. She like, oh, I know him. She laughing at you.
I'm glad because we
said
said the same thing. I was like, we not friends. And you was like, she don't consider me a friend. So.
Yeah, she don't.
But is she your friend?
Yeah, she's a friend to me. I appreciate her.
I tell you the same thing.
No, you don't.
What? I probably got text messages saying I appreciate you.
You don't have to lie so much.
I'm gonna look up in my phone too.
Y'all got great banter for not being friends though. So it's one of my friends who I can knock back and forth with.
I brought Bug out his shell for real. He used to be more quiet.
Yeah.
Then he started getting loud because I was here.
All the good ones we do that. Thank you for
Talking about the introduction?
That too. But like in general, he started saying more stuff.
Nah, I mean,
And
usually,
making jokes.
It depends, because sometimes I've had a co-host, they overtalk me, even the guests. And sometimes if somebody do that, I just chill. Like, I'm not going to try to overtalk somebody all the time. I just, like, do your thing.
Once we kicked in the trash talking, that was when Bug came. It's like, oh, okay, all right, we could do this.
Watch the old videos. I credit jokes all the time.
No.
Okay, what?
I watched them.
Okay, no you don't. Okay,
I did.
when standing on what you said was like difficult for you.
Standing on what I said was difficult for me.
Never. I'm a Gemini.
Yeah. No. I've definitely been called out. Okay. My old best friend, she was a Virgo. She was a great listener. And
Crazy.
she crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be telling stories in groups, and she would be like, "You over exaggerated that part. No, that's not what happened, because we were always together." I'd be like, okay, so what I meant was, and she'd be like, "You always be over exaggerating your stories." I'm like, but that keeps people interested.
It's drama.
Comedians do that. That's normal.
Right.
Yeah, but she would do that shit in public. Like, if you're gonna be comedians, you understand all that shit. Why you say that joke?
I'm crying.
And she would do that. And she would do that a lot. And, like, it was hard for me at first, but, like, it's good. It made me not over-exaggerate. It made me be very truthful.
First of all, calm down. Like, I wasn't even talking to you. You
Bro,
was there when it happened.
All the time. She'd be like, that's not even true, Chanel. That didn't happen. Let's go back. We weren't even in a car. We were on bikes. First I'd be like, okay, but like we were crossing the road. There was cars. I wasn't specifying what we were on. She's like, nope, you definitely made it seem like we were in a vehicle. We were on bikes.
God.
Things like that.
The scientist.
Yeah, I mean,
Why
very
you pull
analytical.
up to the side and be like, motherfucker, let me tell my stories how
I
wanna
would, yeah. Eventually I would, yeah. But when she's my best friend since we were like 5. So, at first I was definitely like, oh, let me defend myself.
Right. I'm just talking to him. Shut up.
Okay, 3 things a guy can do to keep him on your mind.
To keep him on my mind, shit. Send me songs. You send me songs, no context. Just, here's a song. I'll listen to it. And I'll analyze the fuck out of whatever that song means. To me, to what I might think it means to you. That'll keep my mind busy.
Okay, what's one of them songs that has a guy that text you and it kind of means something?
There's a bunch, but there's too many.
The last one. Give me the last one.
I posted it. Hold on. It's called The Sun, and it's by The Sun, produced by Gay Felstein and Casey. He's like Travis Scott's new son. But yeah, KKAYCYY.
And what the
That's
song is to you.
It's a love song, and it talks about like how long can you keep love up? Like, can you do it from miles away? Can you do it if we're not talking for months? Can you do it? And the whole thing says, I don't need the stars, the moon, and the world if you bring me the sun. And like, if you think about that, like the stars are like dreams. Like the world is like what you're with. But it's like the sun is like, when the sun's out, it's daytime. You can't not feel the sun when it's out. Like, when it's gone. And if someone can bring that to you, like, that's all. Yeah.
You real poetic.
Trying to be a lyricist, so I don't know.
I'm mad surface level. I'm like, I would have never took that. I would have got the song.
That's the hook. So, that's what that means to me, whatever.
That is good. I'm like, oh, okay. Sun never leaves. Got it. That's easy.
Yeah,
So
I'm an
that's
astro hoe or whatever. Yeah.
So have you ever wrote a song for somebody you love?
For somebody I love. I'm working on writing a song for my grandma right now. This is the hardest song I've ever written in my life. I can't even get past the first verse because like I love her so much. She's the person that taught me how to sing. So I'm like, shit, we could all go at any moment. If she goes before I make a song for her that at least she can like be proud of,
Mm-hmm.
Like I failed. I literally have my teacher still with me, you know. I'm so lucky. And so I'm trying to make a song for her. But it's hard.
So do you feel like you gotta cram it into the length of the beat, or you just gonna make it as long as you want to?
I found a beat and I found a melody. So the way like I was just playing beats and then I heard it and I was like, ooh, this sounds like something she would like. So we listened to a lot of music together. And then I just started humming something that was really pretty and I was like, all right, I'm gonna write this will be the song. And so I've gotten to like 2 sentences what I think I want to talk about. But yeah, I want it to be something that we can sing all the time. Like it doesn't have to have some deep context.
Timeless.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, something hard to accept, and what did you learn from
Something hard to accept, and what did I learn from it? Ooh. Something hard to accept. I had to learn to accept that I'm supposed to be single right now, and like, shit. Of course, I want love, affection, and all that shit. Who doesn't, you know? But I've learned to accept, like, if I'm genuinely looking at my intentions for what I want. Like, I'm not trying to get married right now. I'm not trying to date right now. So.
Why not?
Cause I'm trying to be a rock star.
You can be a rock star and be married? You don't think so?
That's a whole job. Like being a wife, I'm a drawer mom at the same time, which is how I'd ideally like to do it. That's what I had. You know, I mean, I have friends that do it by themselves and they still making their dream happen, and I'm so happy for them. But they didn't plan that.
Okay.
You know,
you could plan it.
if you could plan it, shit, okay. But that's hard to plan for. And if I'm making plans for my life right now, like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like, men stay away from me, da da da. I'm definitely not like, it's not like hot girl summer. I'm not here playing, you know.
I'm working.
I'm grinding.
But I'm saying, when you dating a guy, you should be already in your wife.
Yeah, and I do that too well. I become wifey. The switch is like polar.
So what's the difference then? Like, you just don't want to do the
The
paperwork?
difference is like, boy, I don't stay in the house when I'm single. I be working. I be from show to podcast to gym class because Shawty asked me to I don't know, work. I have like 2 jobs, to making music, you know, versus when I have a man, it's like, that's all part of my day I schedule out. Every day.
You can pencil them in, you know.
Yeah.
Some girls
But like,
do.
I know what I would like to bring to a relationship. Like, I can't half-ass that shit. Like, I don't know how. I've tried. But I just go full girlfriend. My new song is about that. Saying, like, girl, take it easy. That's the hook. Take it easy. Because, like, when I go into relationships, there's so many things. I just learning, like, discipline and, like, not doing too much to, you know, actually make something worthwhile.
I guess we'll do one more. Okay, behind every strong woman is a story. They gave her no choice. So what's a situation that gave you no choice to be strong? What's
I got kicked out of my parents' house. Yeah. It was so crazy. I was like, with my little brother, making TikToks. It was 2019, going to 2020. Like, right after, no, I think it was 2020. Pandemic had just happened. Everything we went into lockdown. And so, you know, everybody real close in the house. And all of a sudden, my mom figured out my room smelled like weed. And so she got real suspicious. And me and my little brother were making TikToks. I didn't even have weed. I already smoked it. But I kept my smoke bag by where we were making TikToks. And her and my dad, it was like a little lake by our house. And her and my dad, you could walk to it. Her and my dad walk up on us out of nowhere. Like, what are you guys doing over here? You guys making TikToks? You know? You guys smoking? I'm like, why would we be smoking? Where are you getting that from? They start looking in all the bushes and tell me how they find my freaking smoke bag with my grinder, my backwoods wrappers. And my dad opens it, he's like, I don't do smoke weed. But smoke weed with niggas? He pulls up the backwood wrappers like, oh hell no, get your ass to the the
Not
house.
with niggas.
Throw that shit in the lake. And you can just see it all. It's like, not only, but she can't even be a joint girl, because my dad used to smoke. He's like, was she a backwoods girl? Like,
I'm crying.
we saw the backwoods. I know that did something to him. And then he threw that shit in the water. And he ran home. And he got home faster than me. And I get home and everything in my room is on my bed. And like I said, I was in the graffiti, my spray paint, markers, makeup, mirrors, everything, shoes, on my bed. Picked up the four corners, tied it, threw it out the front doors. And you're not bringing weed or the spirit of weed into this house. You gotta go. And
For something he used to do.
yes,
That's
yes.
crazy.
Used to even sell. That's why he feels so strongly about it. And yeah, I guess that was just something like they had made it clear they had a zero tolerance rule with weed, but I was just like, I don't keep it in the house. You found this shit by the creek, like
Right.
you're gonna kick me out over this. And then yeah, I mean I literally got in my car. I was like, where the fuck am I gonna go? I had an auntie. I called her up. I stayed with her for a little bit. Picked up bartending. It was a pandemic, and I learned how to bartend. I never bartended in my life. Did that shit real quick, cause sink or swim. My mom made it clear you can't stay here forever, but you can get on your feet.
So do like Latinos associate that with something negative? Because I remember this guy he was from Nicaragua. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I remember it was like a black kid got shot or something. And he said, he was like, yeah, he used to smoke weed. Like, that, like, the reason, like, he should have got shot or something. Like, so is weed considered, like, evil or something?
Look, I can quote them. We are supposed to be in a state of grace. And weed takes you out of that state of grace. I have argued with them on this many times. I say I can go to church high and still feel in the state of grace. Like, I'm a stoner. But they swear that that's not how it works. That they know weed better than I do. They've been around, they've known about it longer than I've been alive. And trust me, that is not a state of grace. That is a trick the devil is playing. But
So what about alcohol? They don't drink neither?
they definitely do drink. Definitely drink.
And that's spirits.
And that's
It's
called
crazy.
spirits.
Literally spirits.
Literally. But, I can go into my reasons as to why I think they are so strongly about weed. But I know that my mom was never, like, a stoner. So I knew that she could smoke weed every now and then. She's not a stoner. My dad was a stoner. My dad was a dark-skinned Hispanic. My mom was a more light-skinned Hispanic girl, So maybe if my brother would have been the first one to, like, out weed in the family, it would have been more accepted. But because, like, I'm supposed to be more like my mom was never a stoner. When it hit him, like, oh, she's not messing around with weed. Like, she's a stoner. Like he found my whole kit, That's different than, like, I think how my mom smoked weed. And I don't think he liked the idea of his girl being a stoner girl.
So, yeah, he hate black people, too?
No. He's a boxer. Like, he's always around black people.
So
He basically is.
So could you bring a black guy home, like an American black guy?
I date black guys, yes.
Oh, and he'd be like, cool. Like, that's what's up. But he said nigga, like...
I mean, he is one, so he's saying, like, he's not saying in a racist way. He just, like, knows that if we would have pulled out my Juicy J papers, he wouldn't have reacted the same way as pulling out my 5-pack of Honeyberry Blackwoods.
That's what's up.
It was just because he said, like, it was like a car hit him, He was like, maybe, who knows, I reminded him of some girl. Maybe he just had an image of a girl rolling backwards with a bougie ass little golden grinder and my weed pack. He thought, not my daughter. Like, she's supposed to be like her mom, taking ball hits,
Okay, do your thing,
That's just the word that,
For your grandma's song, you ever heard the song Sunday Candy, Chance the Rapper?
Yeah.
You should, like, try something like that, like just taking stuff that she would say to you and put that in the song.
Thank you.
I think that joint is so hard. I was like, this nigga made a song out of what his grandma said. Like, that's fun.
Yeah. Chance is a good writer.
Yeah, he really is. He's fantastic. But is there anything that we haven't asked you about that our audience should know before you go?
I mean,
You still smoke weed?
yes,
Yeah.
every day.
Oh,
Yeah. No, we covered a lot of things. I really like y'all's questions.
The questions that definitely weed out people you listening to. Yeah, have a good time. Thank you.
Appreciate you coming. Literally, it's no pressure. I guess we're gonna see y'all next week, man. And we out.